ground with blood coming from his head. His whole life flashed before his eyes, and he just threw up right there on the scene. And all of a sudden, this man comes downstairs saying to call 911 because someone got shot in room 408.
But before the front desk clerk could gather any more details, the man took off.
The front desk clerk assumed the person ran back up to that room. In his frantic mode, he left the tape on the front desk counter.
The clerk says that he was hesitant to follow him.
Alan Plowden and David Taylor, both Florida natives, carved a complex mortgage and mail fraud scheme, manipulated the financial system to
Alan for him to step out. And as soon as he steps out, he had a backpack on his back and wearing shorts. The officers then handcuffed him, put him on the ground. They check him for any weapons that are possibly on him.
And it seems that his appearance in that less than full garb can assure them that he doesn't have a gun in a pocket and a jacket in some way secreted from them.
Still, he does have a backpack. When police search the bag, they don't find a weapon, but potentially a motive. It's a scenario that would certainly make sense, given the hotel's location.
Between here and the George Washington Bridge into Upper Manhattan and to further up through New England is a major drug corridor. To the George Washington Bridge, probably the most traveled bridge in the United States.
Police bring Jennifer Nettles and Alan Plowden into the station for questioning.
Police have to find out what's going on.
And he told Mercedes that he had a friend in town, Alan Plowden, and he wanted to know if she had any friends for the both of them to hang out with. Mercedes then told David about her friend Jennifer Nettles. They both were sex workers.
It was a night of enjoyment, entertainment.
They want to hear more of what happened when they interacted with Alan.
Across the hall, police sit down with the second hotel witness, Alan Plowden.
Alan tells investigators that he was sleeping while Jennifer was in the bathroom and all the other commotion was going on.
When he finally does wake up, Alan confirms Jennifer's hunch. He hears the voice of a woman that he recognizes.
He recognizes this voice. Somebody he has had a relationship with, who he has spent time with, and who he has spoken to. It's somebody he knows as Gina Conway.
Gina Conway was a 29-year-old exotic dancer who grew up in North Carolina's Piedmont region.
He's including me in something that we can do together.
With Max B's encouragement, Gina makes a date with David and Alan on the morning of September 22nd.
They had a fun outing, but David and Alan had to cut things short with Gina because they were getting ready to hang out with Jennifer and Mercedes. So as she prepared to head out, Gina asked to borrow Alan's room key to use the restroom before she left. Then she walked out of the hotel without returning the key.
Gina tells investigators that they all met at the park to really plot out this plan. It was herself, Max B, as well as Kelvin, his stepbrother. Gina, Max B, is coming up with this whole plan to rob these two dudes who just took his girlfriend out and showed her a good time. And at that moment, Gina doesn't stop him from this plan, according to what she's telling the investigators. She kind of leans into it like, wow, he's including me in something that we can do together.
With Max B's encouragement, Gina makes a date with David and
then I just have to do something else to get his attention. Days prior to the robbery, she saw David and she saw Alan at the club and hung out with them. And they wanted to hang out with her because she just had a way with them.
In the last few days, Alan and David had enjoyed several more outings with Gina.
They went out after that first meetup and hung out where they went shopping at a mall in Bergen County, bought a lot of expensive stuff, and she had a great time with them, and they had a great time with her. And they wanted to hang out with her even more times after that.
But never would Alan have thought the next time he saw Gina, she'd be robbing him.
Alan tells investigators he's thinking he might be dreaming because he's hearing Gina's voice in this hotel room. But when he opens his eyes, he has a gun in his face. And a man who's holding the gun, he doesn't recognize him, but he also notices that the gunman has this scar on his cheek. The guy with the gun is asking him, where's the money at? And he's like, what money? He gets hit in the face. Gina's starting to tie him up with the tape that she used to tie up Jennifer, puts the duct tape around his face, his mouth, his eyes, his hands, and they keep asking him, where's the money? He tells them that he has $700 underneath the mattress. So they flip the mattress and they're still telling him that where's the rest of the money?
It's a dynamic situation. And what must be going through his head is he's trying to figure out, somebody knows there's money here. Who would know?
Based on what Alan is telling law enforcement, he had all the money that he knew these robbers were looking for, but Alan knew that he needed to hide his valuables even before this whole situation happened because he has a strange woman in his room.
Still, Alan knew that these robbers weren't leaving until they got what they wanted. So he told them that the money was hidden away in his friend's room.
So the gunman tells him, call your friend.
He gets on the phone with David, who's on the second floor, and tells David in a weird way that he is in trouble, but he needs him to come upstairs.
David coming upstairs may just simply think that it's a physical confrontation, fist on fist, mano a mano. You don't bring fist to a gunfight. And what happens is he now is confronted by and sees the presence of a gun.
And as soon as the door opens, the gunman and David, they start to scuffle. Alan is laying on the ground. He tells investigators that his friend David and this gunman scuffle and his friend gets shot in the head. The guy and Gina are grabbing whatever that they can find in the room, and then they leave the hotel room. Alan tells investigators that after the gunman and Gina left the hotel room, he goes to Jennifer in the bathroom to get her out of her own restraints.
Alan then ran downstairs to try to catch Gina and her accomplice before they could get away.
But he actually catches up with Gina, and he hits her. She somehow gets away from him and darts out of the hotel. The guy she came with was already in the taxi cab, and they took off.
Gina knows that Alan can recognize her from the crime scene, so she probably wants to get as far away from the crime scene as possible.
The survivor of a Fort Lee hotel robbery turned murder has just identified a viable suspect in the case. But so far, police have no leads on where 29-year-old Gina Conway could have fled from there.
As investigators are trying to figure out,
Gina's story matched Plowden's story, matched Jennifer's story, without them being any connection really between them that would lend to them telling and making up a story together.
Coupled with Alan Plowden's statement about the shooter having a scar, police are able to arrest Kelvin Leardan to Alan's head and demands the money. That's when Alan offers them the $700 hidden under his mattress.
Gina's aware that he has a suitcase or a book bag that he walks around with a lot of money. And he's still saying, I don't have the money, but then he says that his friend downstairs has it.
Gina felt like she couldn't back down. She tried to focus on the plan of getting the room key from David so that it can go down to the second floor to get the money. But then the shot was fired as she watched her new friend David fall dead to the ground. They ran, headed for the second floor as fast as they could, but they did not count on Alan breaking free and running after them. As he followed them into the hall, they had no choice but to abort the mission.
Max B gets his conviction lowered to 20 years. He is set to be released in 2025.
When he got his sentence reduced, hip-hop fans of his and others felt there's going to be a future of Max B to come as soon as he gets out.
He's released music through a few different sort of smaller independent labels. He doesn't talk a ton about exactly how he records the music, the new music. There's lots of rappers who, while incarcerated, have recorded songs over a phone in prison, and it's not clear if that's what Max is doing. He doesn't really address the case that explicitly. He's done a lot of love songs. He's maintained his innocence, maintained sort of a positive outlook on when I get out, things are going to be great.
She wasted 15 years behind bars because of a man that she thought was for her. And she did all this for her man that was not ever really her man.
Black man fisherman, Karen videos, turned actor. Oh yeah. On TV1, For My Man, Season 8, Episode 3, Clubhouse Carnage. My character name is Alan, and this is about a flirtatious comment at a club leads Gina Conaway and rapper boyfriend Max B into a setup in Fort Lee. Their love story twists into a plot culminating in the murder of David Taylor, who's my friend in the show, over jealousy and betrayal. Watch it right now. TV1, Philo, Pilo, whatever you call it, all that. This is the come up season, baby. Let's get it.
Before you watch my video, do your boy a favor and click the subscriber button and tap that bell icon for instant notifications. You will not regret it, on mamas. From insane workouts to smoking and drinking. My name is Bait2GA, B-A-Y, the number 2-G-A, because I am from the and now I live in Georgia. Catchy, right? I am breaking from a background actor to become an A-list celebrity. You will have one-on-one access to my life and see that
it is fantastic.
you can get the biggest Chanel back in the store.